Hi there, this is Michael from Ever Better Mind with another practical tip to help boost your mental health. Have you ever been in a bad spot and can't help but think the same negative thought over and over and over again? It feels like you can't escape it. I certainly have and do, and it's definitely a symptom I experience when I'm feeling depressed or in a bad spot. It's called rumination. It's literally repetitive negative thoughts. Um, it happens with people facing depression, experiencing depression and anxiety, and potentially other things as well. Um, and I'd suggest even maybe just when you're in a bad spot, whether you have a diagnosis or you are depressed or something else, when you're in a bad spot, I think most people probably feel a little bit like that, where you can't help but thinking the same negative thing over and over. So that people who are more prone to that, there can be positive sides to it, to rumination, or more positive version of it. So maybe you attack a problem over and over again and from different angles and kind of get a really robust solution, maybe through work or something. But rumination, the way I'm talking about, is more the negative version of it. There is one thing you can do to literally block it out because it's incompatible with rumination. It's an absorbing activity. When you're absorbed in activity, you can't think those kind of repetitive negative thoughts because you're literally so focused on that activity. So for me, that activity is skateboarding. I literally just came home from a session at the skate park just now. Um, I love it. I'm not a born again skater. I've only started this year. My son started skating. And I thought, why not? Let's go rather than sitting around watching him. And I found it's actually hit the spot for exactly what an absorbing activity should be. So an absorbing activity, and I found naturally it just gives me relief when I'm feeling, yeah, in that negative spiral, especially around self talk or negative thoughts over and over. It just gives me that sense of putting a block or a pause in between those thoughts. And after I come out of it, I have the ability to be a bit more mindful, which I think is a really good spot. So skateboarding for me, it's an absorbing activity. And I know that because um, I don't have a sense of time. Like, I'm just like, I'm so in it. I don't think about time. It's really goal oriented. So like there's always a skill or a trick you're thinking about or working towards. And it can be rewarding. It's a little bit challenging too. It's challenging enough where my full brain's engaged, my body's engaged. Um, so yeah, it hits a lot of boxes. And I found that the science shows us that when you're absorbed in activity, you can't have those repetitive style of negative self-talk. And for me, negative self-talk looks like calling myself really negative things over and over again. Um, it also, for me, I can almost know when I'm kind of starting to go downhill when I start thinking of random things in my past that I'm embarrassed about. And I just think about it over and over again. That one time whatever, just keeps coming up and I can't shake it. There is one way, like I said, it's absorbing activity. So I think the key here is to find or resurface or bring back an absorbing activity that you like. Um, so skateboarding is a really good one. Probably any sport, board games. A lot of hobbies tend to be. So I don't know, craft or painting maybe as well. Um, what else? Perhaps music, maybe even learning how to play music if that's your thing. But keep an eye out for something that you've done in the past where people have known where you just got so stuck into it. Maybe it's golf for some people. I'm thinking maybe golf would be a good one. And like I said, the characteristics are, and I think the key one is actually time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're absorbed, almost by definition. It's a little bit challenging. Challenge is always a good thing. So you're trying to achieve something. Again, when you've got a challenge just about right, you don't want to let it go. And again, that kind of engages that part of your brain. Um, Clear goals and instant feedback. So I know you're trying to score something or you're trying to finish a painting. Instant feedback too is part of that. So when you're painting, like you can see something happening and your painting is constantly changing and improving and getting better, or just changing in itself. And it's kind of like slightly addictive. You want to keep coming back. You want to keep playing. Um, so I think I guess my kind of tip here is to find an absorbing activity or or do the absorbing activity that you can kind of get to, even when you're in a low spot. Another one for me is gardening. If I can just put the gloves on or just get out, once I've started, I kind of can't stop because I kind of want to get the garden in a really good spot. And I'm kind of active. I'm doing stuff. There's a goal behind it. I can see my progress when I look back and the lawn's mown or that garden bed's done or the thing's mulched or whatever it is. You can kind of feel that. And yeah, just it's absorbing enough where time does fly. I kind of don't, I'm always getting in trouble by my wife for not kind of coming in on time. So I think keep an eye out and ear out for those things where maybe as a kid or in the past or currently where you kind of like forget about eating or that's not good, but you forget about coming to dinner or you forget about stuff because you're so into it. Do that and you might just find something that you can do more regularly to help those negative repetitive self thoughts, sorry, those negative thoughts that kind of keep coming back and back. Put that pause in it and hopefully find a way that yeah, you can go back on the path of mindfulness, which is really important but hard to do when you're in it. Really, really hard to do. So try out an absorbing activity. Um, don't forget, if you're having a rough time or you know someone having a rough time, you're not alone. But for now, see you around.